So I hope that today and tomorrow, and in the days and weeks and years to come, that we never, ever lose our focus on what today is all about. When I had the opportunity about 10 months ago to meet with Rick Cahill and the representatives from state government who were working on completing this memorial, it was clear to me that this was something that needed to be done by today as an honor to them, as a place for them to come and to remember starkly and clearly their loved ones. Now, there are many places that I know they go to do that already, but this can be a place, one place, where they can come for a sense of community with us. Unfortunately for them, much of their suffering has been private, horribly private. With us today, we can share in their grief and serve through our presence and our words to help to ease their pain and lift their spirits. The attack on the World Trade Center was the attack on the home of the Port Authority. It was an attack on all of our homes. And an attack on our homes demands a response from us, not only of retribution against those who brought the attacks, but much more importantly, a response of compassion and love and faith and understanding for those most directly affected by what happened 10 years ago tomorrow. For Mary Pat and I, in our lives, we have seen this very clearly, as I'm sure so many of you in this audience have as well. I'm sure most, if not all of you here, know someone who lost someone on that day. And what strikes us so much is that while moments like today and tomorrow are moments of great reflection and great thought for all of us about who we are as a people and where we're heading as a country, I think we all have to take the time to put those issues aside and think about how those individuals who survive put one foot in front of the other each day, and what we can do to continue to help them live through this process. See, for most of us, the events of September 11th have changed our lives, but changed our lives in ways that are impersonal to some extent. The different ways we travel through airports, the different reaction we have to planes flying low overhead, the different reaction we have to something we see that looks unusual or suspicious. It's difficult for many of us to remember how we used to react 10 years ago today compared to the way we've reacted 10 years ago from yesterday. But for the individual families, their reaction and the change to their lives has been much different, and I'd respectfully suggest much more significant. And I think that all of us in the aftermath of September 11th felt like there was something we wanted to do, something more to do to reach out. And giving a moment of silence for each one of those lost souls, nearly 3,000, on September 11th, would seem to be the least that we could do in our own lives to honor them, but to understand the enormity of the loss we suffered as a country and as a people. Please remember this. If we decided to do that right now, if we made a solemn commitment to each other today that we would together, as New Jerseyans, observe a moment of silence right now together for each lost soul on September 11th, we would be sitting here together in silence until Monday afternoon at 2 o'clock. If we gave just 1 minute to each lost soul, that's the enormity of our loss as a people. But the loss for these families is not just between today and 2 o'clock on Monday. The silence from the loved ones they've lost has lasted 10 years. 10 years, minute by minute, of the absence of their husband or wife, the absence of their mother or father, the absence of their brother or sister, of the unthinkable absence for a parent who had to bury a son or a daughter in the most unnatural act that any human being could have to endure. When we come and walk through this memorial and we see those names engraved on that wall, I hope you understand and will reflect upon what those names mean, not just to us as Americans or as New Jerseyans, but what they mean to those family members for whom that wall and that name will be a sacred and honored place. An acknowledgement from all of us that their lives mattered and still matter to us today. That's why we built this memorial. Because each time they come here, it is a silent acknowledgement from each and every one of us in New Jersey that we feel some small part of their pain and loss, that we want to reach out to hold them and to comfort them, and that we want them to know that for as long as New Jerseyans with goodwill and pride and toughness who were alive on September 11th still walk this state, that we will never leave them and we will never, ever forget. Thank you.